Hello everyone, Luke Smith here. We've got a letter reading today and an update to a previous letter to read today. So we're going to start off with the new one, a 6th letter to Helena, and this was on the dated 21st of July 2022. So let's get into it. So obviously Ills is posting on Twitter with Helena, so we'll read these tweets first. So Ills posts on Twitter. So I currently have a summary typed up. However, due to time zone differences, I need to wait till tomorrow. Need to get at Helena Franza approval, and I'll share the letter received. Was very brief, but just had one or two juicy details. So we got Chris's letter now. It's just a short half a page thing. Do not upload this letter to the online public, please. Hey Helena, censored. As you are both aware, the legal Paris from my home return to Los Angeles Temple is the relocation of Barbara. So he's still going on about the she must be gone and then he can return home. But Barbara is being a majority stubborn individual by in relocating herself. Caden is working on pursuing her and presenting her with the truths of the legality. So in other words, he still wants to force Caden to sort his mother out, which I'm pretty sure Caden doesn't want to do. On that, I know one, shallow because she has been shallow, way to sway her is with money, and I have literally told all of everyone to donate their fives and offerings to her at the Sonic Temple, especially money. Still sending money to the house so he can pick it up when he comes out. If he comes out, it probably won't be never, hopefully. Well, now it means more than ever to do this, to get my body and us back home to the Sonic Temple. So I just have a letter to Caden with all the specifics and the one public letter and the drawing on the matter. In organising the online fundraiser to raise $150,000. Still wants that money, he does, to pay off the mortgage and debts, and some left to pay for her to start off in an elderly care home. Also, I'm including Engelhart on this campaign, for I have written in the public letter what they are to follow, the link to the fundraiser page, and shared directly by Helena, Engelhart and Caden. With that, I urge you to be in contact with them both in this crucial project. He's calling it a project now. Thank you. Be safe and well, Mrs. Jesus Christ Clan Sonic. So yeah, that was a short one. He's still like really pushing it to get her out. Ills' summary. This is another tweet he did. A very short letter from Chris Clan addressed to Helena and me. I was told not to share it online, but depending on how things go on the 28th, which, well, we know a little bit, but not that much, I might be able to share some of the contents of the previous unreleased letters, but no promises. Some of Chris's claims from the previous letter are now sus. He claimed that everything was going so swimmingly in his last letter, but some of the decisions reached regarding Barb seems like lies and bullshit. Chris lied about Barb being someplace else. He'd made it. You need but a comma there or an apostrophe. He'd made it sound like she was already in a home or with Uncle Tom and Aunt Harriet, which we all believed. I don't know if it was true or not. I think they did take her in for a bit to get her sorted out, and then they just like released her back into the house. Assuming this letter is more current than the last one, Chris didn't just explain it badly. She's still at the Sonically Temple. Sounds like there is a low 6-digit figure, although this might be a mortgage and some other fees, owed to the Sonically Temple. Chris previously made it sound like it was close to Tang being paid off. While I suppose a big chunk of the debt was paid off, I suspect Chris may not have been honest and true in previous correspondence. That's the thing. It's like there is 100% still a mortgage and he's paying off of that house, and he wants so many people to pay it off. Chris is attempting to put Barbara in a nursing home. Chris begin again, eh? So much for don't send me any more money, for Thursday money as thrice now. That's an old-timey medieval saying, by the way, I think. Chris is trying to organise a fundraiser for himself once the last few white knights and enablers he's got left to organise him. 101, maybe Bono will help him, or get UNICEF UNICEF involved. Kengel elaborates more on this in his recent letter, I believe, which I'm pretty sure we already read. Chris once again tries to put Helena and Caden in contact with one another. Helena informs me she attempted to make contact with Caden, but attempts failed. Caden, if you're reading this, please contact me or Helena while I can't promise anything and I don't want to publicly disagree on anything. Private message via Retta, is that a thing, is likely the best way to reach us. I don't know what or why Chris wants us to meet. Maybe he's told you something that he hasn't told us. So that was it. We got like a summary here as well, but I'm pretty sure it was the tweeted summary. I'm not quite sure. So yeah, for some reason like the internet's a bit slow. Yeah, it's what we had before. So here we have the 4th of July letter again, letter 5. We did read it on like just after the 4th of July, a month ago. Now it has been completely updated, with the new pages added, because obviously Chris didn't want them pages added, but now the court is in session. It's basically up here now. So we're going to read it again. So it says, "Hey Helena, I am pleased and thankful for your renewed energy and inspiration. You are doing well, very well and better. Firstly, I'll answer your questions. The only blessings that have been best out of jail was the quality of meditation time. Safety, the window from the medical cells 4 and 3. I definitely remember reading this one out. As well as my awakening, revelation and the ability to better myself and my body in astral manifested divine works and duties. To count the properly accumulated, I am grateful to have been able to write and occasionally draw over the months, make fruit tea, tropicales, fruit punch, black cherry and orange drinks, coffee and simple water, the chicken ramen noodle soups, and solitaire on the floor prayer rug. The only thing I will miss is playing solitaire on the prayer rug, and music and news on the AM/FM radio. I am going into collaborating and degenerating with others in my works and efforts. Yes, the mutual teamwork is good. Nobody had impersonated Barbara at all. Contact with her was at minimal at best. Bella, like the toxic ones over the years, wanted to thrust the mislabel of paedophile from herself upon I and get me in trouble with that false witness redacted. The suitress, I'm pretty sure that was Fiona, was 19, but she looked youthful like a high school She is not only a suitress, but only an innocent flower, a bystander who fell victim or would have fallen for much worse. By the fated circumstances, by any of the outcomes from last July-August, I can't believe that was a year ago. God. Like, this is 2021, not 2022. Among all the timelines, counting this one, I have long unconsciously foreknown of Bella Null's and Sockness's intentions and plans for my own body and brain's innate and developmental psychic power and abilities. My body's abilities are still being upgraded and strengthened godly, despite the restrictions of 1218's Earth, and shall be maximized to full power, tangible ability upon and after the completion of the collective shift and my second coming. You've foreknown this as well, Helena. I have always been innately connected with all my past collective memories and insights from my books of immortal life within the cosmos, the Alashai records, the Universal Core of 1C211987, and both its 1218 and C197 half, and so on. I have not been fully aware until the recent years in intervals. Bella has long testified for herself through the leak video and her online confession to having faked the video's contents. She has absolutely no intention of coming forward in any court of law, like most of the toxic online fakers. That's the thing. I do not think they'll call her up in court, because they probably can't find her. I think she's in hiding, like under a new personality now. Fate and karma are hitting Josh Moon hard for his past sins and demonics, and yet I still find curious if either he or Bella would have been better kissers than Judas. Lol. I will contact Gino as soon as I am able to. Okay, now we're getting into the new stuff. What was redacted last time. I had explicitly requested no posting of these letters due to certain enlightening details that would have been more overwhelming, as well as spoiler territory, and it being too soon to share certain details. For example, the mass majority of 1218 Earth who have programmed their own minds with their thoughts of us gods and goddesses, being Mary Sue's or Gary Stu, perfect, are not as easily ready and open for accepting I or Emmanuel in the least, as well as the other gods and goddesses, as flawed and not perfect, despised gaming and anime chronicling, actually being rather on the nose and point on our flaws. Do not upload between the wavy lines. I'm pretty sure there's another one somewhere, so it's up between this slot. Here we go. I need to state the preface, and this remains strictly offline for the time being. In regards to my mentioned sacrifice, August 2021, I have gone over the following in my Goddess Log pages as roughly follows. I have seen into all the possibilities and timelines for the outcome of August 2021 betrayals and the late Sockness sorcery and demonics. Everything Northwest aside, Barbara and I have long been fated to be separated then period, if not for my soul bonding with her and mentally and emotionally healing her with talking of the past. She would have died in that vehicle accident in the van in August and not in November, and survived. There was also outcomes of her landing in Gale instead, fucking hell, dying by other fated happenings, or the very chance of moving, or the very slight chance of moving. In with another man out of attraction, really? Highly doubt that. The reason her body, or at least Keka or Helena, continues to be alive and at the Sonically Temple, the long time is my own emotional and spiritual processes and developments. Had everything all fresh gone smoothly and well with my safe return home at the Solitary Temple, Barbara would have been lost and permanently migrated into her Rosecrew form on C-197 Earth. In other words, he's saying that she would have died if he would have gone to that Everfree convention. How I saved her, and I would have suffered emotionally, and not have been and not as successful an awakening, rebirth and revelations as I had. It would have been tougher on me, for I and my body had not fully appreciated our friends, allies and social/business connections to properly prosper and pay off the remaining debts and mortgage. Soon, also, why did I read that as soon? Also, as I had stated in my Big Talk confession letter, also Barbara had become a burden of an emotional weight on me. Here we go. And when it becomes the legal restriction of the courts never going to allow her and I to be in the same building before the collective shift's completion and her full transition into a Rosecrew form, as well as the present paradox in that in all of the other pre-second coming timeline portions, she and I not be together since last August period. In our time, my body and I have processed, cried, grieved and accepted these facts, and her human body's relocation needs to happen before my body and I can, page 3, return home at the Solitary Temple. It's fated and evident. So obviously this is on the 4th, so this must have been like when he first was talking about she must either die or go away, otherwise he can't return home. Page 3. So when you had read of your prayer on the top of the billions of heard prayers from our followers over these months in regards of her and I getting back together, as well as the inquiry, are you excited to see your mum again? There's a deep emotional trick that gets triggered within my body because I consciously and unconsciously know these facts and divine details. So I had made my own sacrifice to let Barbara go. Yep, it's going that way. This is how it starts. To have her relocated, or what a foreknown outcomes, destiny and fate may manifest on her human body, or what's left of her partial soul that lingers within her. Fortunately, I have my plans for after my return home thought out, including on debt and mortgage payment, and the settling. I'll have to get help on that as well. So he still wants someone to help him get home. Unfortunately, despite my direct telling of the outcome of June 9th's court date, and the June 9th, was there a court date on June 9th? I didn't know that. It probably wasn't. Obviously it must have been a continuance, but I don't know. Giving her the choice to relocate herself so she didn't have to be forced. 3 weeks later, by Caden's confirmation, Barbara is still at the Solitary Temple, redneck and stubborn. Fucking hell, Chris. So, giving him the last of her charitable crimes, including pet negligence, mistreatment, suicidal threats, and emotional manipulation and abuse upon I and Ada's law of someone using someone else's SSI. I have instructed Caden alone to call the police on her. I keep this strictly offline because I don't want to risk the toxic ones abusing her. Why would anyone abuse her though? Directly, or any defacement of the Solitary Temple itself or its property span, as well as thefts, no good. So he is when he started going nuts again, isn't it? Now he's saying that, well, this was on the 4th of July, This ain't the newest one. He was saying that he wants to get her arrested for past crimes. Fucking hell, Chris. Anyway, that's all I have to share for the time present. Please keep aware and open for the continuing shifts, events, significant happenings, and literal portal openings, and seeing your own Pikachu Jeffrey, who's Jeffrey, and your partner Maggie-chan in person, fully tangible, among others, locally in out where you reside. And please let me know what you found in the growing up to lead you comic, making what I've shared with you in meditation and insight. Be safe and well with love, Mrs. Jesus Christ, Jan Sonicu. And we've got some more information. Ills' summary in tweets. Helena eventually posted the revised summary of the redacted pages that Ills has written up on the 12th of July 2022. Highlights include: Chris apparently believes that Jacob Sockness is dead, referring to him as the late Jacob Sockness, which he's not dead. I really don't think so. Chris describes how the events of summer 2021 unfolded in alternate timelines. In one timeline, he goes to Everfree Northwest, and a sad end awaits Barb while she's home alone. So in other words, she'll probably have a heart attack if he would have went. Barb has been going through trials and tribulations of some kind. Chris asks Helena to check on Barb's aura. Chris has new connections helping him financially, probably a Prater or someone else, most likely a Prater, because their Etsy shop is still open. An agreement was allegedly reached on June the 9th which will permit Chris to return to 14 Barksdale Court. Upon his release, it is unclear if Barb will be living there with him, but everything will not be like how it was before between the two of them. Barb allegedly did things which Ills considered very, very, very bad, but she is apparently already suffered consequences for her actions. Ills states that he may need to take a break, may need to break Chris's confidence and reveal the contents of the letter if there's anything legally damning there. But he is unsure if the deeds mentioned in the letter cross that threshold. Ills later clarified in a tweet that he does not believe that the actions Barb was accused of were explicitly illegal. Only they were very sussy. That's the thing. I don't think they was illegal. Apart from like the dog abuse, but I don't think that's proven. I'm pretty sure that was Chris doing that. So we got a tweet now. While I can't elaborate on what was said, there was more to Chris's last letter. Nothing explicitly illegal or ongoing crimes were omitted. To some, I am okay keeping the letter under wraps for now, I guess. But there was some very sussy things, although resolved now, that were discussed. With the release of the full letter, it seems that Barb's very sussy behaviour was appropriating Chris's monthly tugboat, although it is unclear how he would have learned about this, given that she has not been communicating with him. So we got the gallery, obviously the letters there. Chris uses a pet name he was given to the suitress, which Ills censored out. Ills would confirm it in a Twitter post. So that's basically it for the updates right here. Again, very interesting to see these updates. At the minute, I'm pretty sure I've caught up. I'm on Saturday. I'm planning on doing a Chris update and not a quickie reading. But it really depends if I get any news, really. So we'll talk about it then. So until then, see you guys.